Hello.
Oh, hello.
Oh, we've got a little visitor.
We
You won't be
have.
able to see unless you are watching us via the YouTube. But hi, Margot.
Hello.
And if you are watching, you'll realise that she can't reply because she's a dog, but she is front and house of the screen looking, oh my gosh, she's just like a little baby. She's the most adorable thing.
She wanted a cuddle.
So Margot's the special guest today.
Hello.
Welcome to Series 2, Episode 6.
Is it 6?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Marie,
sure?
is it 6?
Yes, I think you're right.
Excellent. See, I know what I'm doing. Welcome to Creative Rehab, Series 2, Episode 6.
It is.
Welcome,
amazing.
Everybody. How are you?
Yes, I'm all right.
Good.
I'm all right. I'm feeling much better than I did this time last week.
Yes, you were poorly, weren't you?
I was. Poor Marie spent, I would imagine, a considerable amount of time trying to edit all my many coughs.
And splutters.
Because nobody needs to hear that.
Nose
and I did
blowing.
lose my voice once or twice. But yes, I feel much better this week. So I'm back in the land of the living. And how are you?
I'm good. It doesn't feel like a week ago that we did this. This week seems to have just blown by. But I've had a good week. I had my business kind of, what should we call it? So I have like a little end of month business meetup at Love Local in the workroom last Friday of every month. And had such a lovely group. It was completely the right time because it was the day that my Instagram broke. And I just needed to sit in a room with other creative businesses and, just have a chat about that. And it really kind of centered me. But my lovely friend, I will call her my friend because Dawn, whose business is Girl Friday Embroidery, has been with me from my previous pop-ups. She's been with me from day one. She is the most incredible. She's what would I call? She's an embroiderer, but a freehand embroiderer. And I'm going to show you. I've only got a picture, and I will link it. We will add it. That she made me this. It's a hoop.
I'm coming in, Margot. I'm going to have to put you down.
It's an embroidery of the shop window with all of the flowers of the painting of the shop window, the sign and everything in the front of the shop.
Oh my God.
Isn't that absolutely beautiful? I don't have it here because it's in the shop, but I will take a photo and post it. And she gave it to me as a gift for my first shop birthday. And I cannot tell you, I love anyone making me anything that is, the amount of time and effort that she's put into that just so that I can hang it in the shop and look at it. So, yeah, she makes the most beautiful decorations. We've got all the Halloween and Christmas will be coming in soon, but she's a very talented embroiderer. She's been doing it 10 years and she comes to the Breakfast Club. So it was really nice to just sit and have a chat to people. But I just wanted to do a little shout out for Dawn to say thank you because
that's really special.
It really is something that I'll just keep forever. I know I will because those things just, they touch my heart when people make me things like that.
I feel the same. It's funny, isn't it? You're either that way inclined or you're not.
Yeah.
And I feel the same. Some of the things that are the most special gifts I've ever received are the ones that people have
and I don't think
made.
Sometimes it is beautiful, like honestly, and I will take a proper photo. I think for me it's the thought that someone has spent their time to make me something that is just so lovely. I think because I like to do that, but when it's reciprocated you think it's just even more special, isn't it? So yes, I will pop a little photo on of my little Love Local shop front. So yeah, I've had a good week apart from
we're going to come back to that, aren't we? We're going to that is the subject of today's episode. We've decided to go out
have a little chat about
talk about it.
But apart from that, my week has been good. It's been busy. The shop has been so busy. I don't know whether it's I don't know, autumn just it feels lovely in there. You know, I'm going to change the window soon. The painting in the window is going to go from summer to autumn. And for me, that's like the flip over of we're nearly at, I'm going to say the C word. We're nearly at getting ready for Christmas. And my shop is magical at Christmas. Like you think really that special. Summer threw up in it, wait till Christmas. Literally, it's like it's the only real time that you can go all out and it not be overwhelming for anyone, because everyone loves that. Had the fairy lights up, and yeah, I'm feeling good. The sun is out, the weather's been nice, so yeah, good.
There's nothing quite like is that this time of year, I love it. That those autumnal days where the sun is that little bit lower in the sky. And the leaves are all turning crunchy browny orange. They're all crunchy on the floor, and it's the smell as well. I've got such an acute sense of smell, which sometimes is my nemesis. And we went to a friend's yesterday for a cup of coffee in the afternoon, and came out and somebody was having a bonfire, and you know, it's all of that, and that sort of it's lovely, really cozy. Kind of evokes memories of my childhood as well.
I always think spring is my favorite time of year. I love spring, but when I get to autumn, there's something about, well, one, I like that I can just put a beanie hat on and not have to wash my hair for the school run. There's just something lovely about chucking on a hoodie, chucking on your welly boots, putting a beanie on, and not having to worry about, you know, I definitely am an autumn winter dresser. Give me a jumper, jeans, sweatshirt. That's me. I don't like a coat. I've never liked a coat, really. It's a bit restrictive.
Do you not?
No.
I love a coat, I have to say. Yes, but
I'm a jumper layerer.
Specific. Oh, are you? Yeah, a layer. Yeah. Do you like a gilet?
I don't mind a gilet. I've never found the one that I want until I saw Hannah Buck last Saturday when I don't know, a couple of Saturdays ago, when she was doing the workshop in the workroom, and she come in and she had this most beautiful, like bright coloured knitted jumper, soft, like all multicolours, and then a hot pink gilet, quilted gilet. And I was like,
that's for me.
That I was like, she dressed as if she was a painting, you know, when you
one of her paintings.
Yeah, all of the colours on it, you could just go, yeah, that was absolutely. But I really like that. So maybe I might invest in a gilet this winter, because it's the arms I don't like restricted.
Yeah,
I don't like the feeling of I have to hold my hands, like my cuffs of my jumper when I put something over the top. Yeah. I don't like the feeling of that, really.
Okay.
And also, did we discuss my sock situation? I also don't like wearing socks, so I don't wear socks very often at all. Unless,
I think I don't think we were on camera at the time, because, you know, we do
have 2 hours before this just talking.
It's now almost sort of 11:30, and we've been on a call
since 9:30.
So we've already chatted for 2 hours. Anyway,
yes, I was discussing the fact that I had cold feet last week, and you said I should go put some socks on, and I made the announcement that I actually don't own any socks, because I just don't like the feel of socks. And I mean, that does mean that my feet smell quite a lot, because I don't really wear socks with shoes. The only exception is my proper Doc Martens. So I've got some like fleece line Doc Marten Chelsea boots. They're fine without socks, but I can't wear, like, I've got like a few pairs and I can't wear them without socks. And in that case, I just use my husband's.
2 seconds. Margot, just got to let the dog out. Hold on.
Oh, this is
clocked her circling.
Oh,
and
dear.
She's so lazy. Do you know, she likes to stay in her room, which is Evie's room, on Evie's bed, until normally about lunchtime, and then she'll sort of trot downstairs. She's such,
and
Margot.
Then she'll have a wee.
Margot. Oh,
she's also really obedient.
Obviously not. I mean, no, she's not coming.
She's not coming.
So unless she's sat by the back door, should I check?
Just go and check. We're going to we're just going to pause for 1 second.
Pause,
so
2
that
seconds.
Becky can just go and check that Margot doesn't need a wee.
Sorry about that. I will obviously need to let her back in a second.
Yeah, that's easier though, isn't it?
My glasses are all over. Yeah, there we go. I'm back.
Okay.
Sorry.
She's back. Margot is out, running around having a wee. So, shall we start this week's topics?
Let's.
I don't really know where to start, if I'm honest.
Before we do that,
Yes.
Sorry. I just wanted to talk about, before we go deep dive into that, because it's sort of slightly connected, on a positive note. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about what I did in the last week, which was...
Oh, yes.
So I went to this event on Thursday at Vanille, which is the most incredible independent gift shop based in Woodbridge. And Mandy, the owner, I've known for a long time. And she just has the most exquisite eye. She has curated that shop. It just, honestly, it's breathtaking. So it's very Scandi inspired. Well, not just inspired, it is very Scandinavian. All of the products in there. She also is the most incredible advocate for local creatives and local businesses, particularly female-led. She did an event in there with somebody called Sadie, who owns, she's an interior designer, and she is White Space Home. And Sadie has come up with this incredible idea of producing a booklet that basically gives those people we spoke about last week, didn't we? How we can walk into a room and decorate it, but so many people can't.
Yeah,
and they kind of need some guidance as to where to start. And she's produced this booklet, which really gives you a base color palette and uses lots of examples. I think she's going to be doing one for each season.
Nice.
It's really accessible and is downloadable. She's also looking to produce some physical colour cards that will go with the booklet as well, which is, I think, really useful. What a
great idea.
And she also talks about, so, you know, if you put this colour on this wall, this would look good on the skirting. You could pick out this colour yellow and put it maybe on some piping for some cushions. So it's really brilliant, super accessible, practical interior design advice. And it is superb. I can't recommend it enough. Anyway, so we had this event where she was launching this particular product. Again, we'll link it all in the show notes so you can go and have a look and check it out. And it was just lovely. There was some really, really gorgeous people there. That's one of the most wonderful things about sort of going to things like this, I think, is
just makes you fills your cup, doesn't it, when you surround yourself with people that are just
lots
in it
of
with
people.
you.
And what's really lovely is there was sort of 3 or 4 people there that were, you know, I see quite a bit in different things that I do, that were there specifically to support Sadie. And it was just really special, really, really special.
Oh, that's lovely.
Women supporting women, but in a really real kind of, you know, it was just lovely, really nice. So some great chats, great conversations, and
such a great idea. Really we'll definitely link everything in that as well so that you can check out all of those. But I haven't been to Vanille. I need to go. No, okay. I'd like to meet Mandy as well. I think that, you know, it's one of those, I see it all the time. I just never go that way, but maybe we'll, I mean, Woodbridge is beautiful, isn't it? So no one needs an excuse to go and I went have a mooch Gemma, around.
My other work wife.
Yes.
And
all right. I know you went with Gemma.
we had a really nice time. We just had a really great morning and then had a quick squiz around the charity shops before we left. Oh my gosh, got some great things actually. We both bought a really lovely top. I just love that's a proper dopamine hit for me, finding something that is
too.
It's pre-loved, which is just so special. anyway,
I love that too.
That was really good. That was my favourite.
Oh, I'm pleased. That's such a nice day out as well, isn't it? And then come home, you just feel warm and happy that you've been with nice people, and and you've experienced something new because you've, she's launched a new product, which sounds amazing. You told me about it before, and it does sound really, really good.
Clever. I can really see someone like John Lewis, for example, taking hold of this and maybe using it as part of their offering. I don't know if that's where she wants to go with it, but it's such a fantastic idea. And really accessible, which is the bit that's really good.
Exactly, that's important, isn't it?
So that was I did lots of other lovely things last week, super busy, had a great day with the Umbrella Hub, doing lots of different things, but yes, that was good. A really special day for me. So I just wanted to talk about that.
That's
move on.
Absolutely.
To
well, that's what this is about as well. It's creative, isn't it? And that was the day that's what we mean by creative rehab, doing things like that, fill your cup and you surround yourself with other people, whether they be creative or not, but you get new ideas and you listen to people's new ideas
and that's it. It's always being open, isn't it, to what other people are doing. And that's what I meant to say to you. So I had a fantastic conversation with the Starred Writing Company. Do you know her, Henny?
Not sure.
She's just gorgeous. And she recommended something to me, which actually, let's talk about it when we talk about social media. Remind me, because I will forget. Say to me, what was the thing?
Okay, and you'll remember that.
Yes. So today we're going to talk about social media and the deep breath, and the many positives and occasionally negatives that kind of we've experienced. Again, this is just lived experience from us. This isn't anything else.
No,
I'm going to pause and let the dog in. Bear with. Hold on. Sorry. Sorry. I'm back.
Okay.
So yes.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about that, aren't we?
Shall I start?
Yes, you start.
Okay. So I'm sure that everyone did listen to last week's episode. But I had a situation which now I'm happy to look back on and reflect on, which I think is important, because last week when we recorded last week's episode, I was in the midst of
the trauma.
Kind of, not to be too dramatic, but basically I broke my old phone. I got a new phone, and for some reason my Love Local Instagram account got locked. All of my other accounts, Hire the Workroom, Cotton Rainbow, my personal account, were all fine because they all had a mobile number attached to them, so you can get sent an SMS code, blah, blah, blah. For some reason, Love Local wasn't, and it then got locked. I don't know how, I don't know why. In my Meta suite, I can see it, but I couldn't access it, but I could access everything else on the Meta suite. So I ended up, because this is the only way you can do it, I ended up having to pay to blue tick verify my Hire the Workroom account, which is a monthly subscription, which then gives you access to support from Meta. So across Facebook and Instagram.
Okay, so it's across both platforms?
No, it's not across both platforms. Right. You have to pay separately. So I have had to pay twice. For one for Love Local, because I can access it on Facebook. I can access full Love Local Facebook. I just can't get into the Instagram account. But anyway, just to fast forward, I've done that. I've raised a ticket. It got declined because they couldn't verify my identification, which is a video of my face, because my face wasn't on my social media. For those of you that follow Love Local, I honestly cannot put my face anymore on that social media. And it was for that reason as well, because I was experienced in other businesses losing their accounts or being hacked, or, it's really important that somewhere on your profile is your face, because then you are a human that is a linked to that account. So, and it's not literally the second pinned post is my face. So even if it's being done by some computer, it is there. But no, declined. And then finally, because I was like a dog with a bone, I'm like, no, this is not okay. This is my business account. I've worked really hard for it. I can tell you it wasn't hacked. It's just locked. I can see it. I can prove who I am. I need access. So I currently have an appeal that's being logged at the moment, which can take 5 to 7 working days. So I think I'm at day 3 working day today. Now, what's difficult is, from my personal perspective, whether it's I am very I spend a lot of time on my Love Local social media. It's become a habit because we talk about things that we, if you do them enough, they then become a routine. I put a lot of work into that. I post daily. I do stories daily. I do, 2 reels a week. And my audience on there is building and building and building, which is incredible. But so it was kind of like sadness that all of this work I've put in, I now can't have access to. But having hindsight of a week now, the pressure of my Instagram is actually my pressure that I put on myself, because this week in the shop has been my busiest sales week since April. So I've had no social media for Love Local on Instagram at all. Not posted a thing. Whereas I would have had a daily story that I do at 6:30 a.m. because as soon as I wake up, I do the stories, I share this, I post that. I haven't done that for a week, and it has had absolutely zero effect on my physical business, because I now have a physical permanent shop. And that wasn't the case when Love Local first started. Yes. It was a pop-up shop that was popping up here, popping up there, doing an event here, doing an event there. So people came to that platform to find out where it was. And I think that the pressure that I have put on building up this social media has been a real learning curve for me, because it can just be taken in a split second. And I'm fortunate that I have a physical shop, so that it doesn't affect that. But the millions of businesses that are on Instagram that solely rely on that platform for selling their products, and it can be taken away in a split second, that's their livelihood.
I know we've said this, but when I was talking to Pete about it, he just said, any other digital IT platform that you're using for your business, there is some accountability if something goes wrong. Whereas with Instagram, and I would guess most social media platforms, there's nothing.
No.
It's, it's really dangerous to I think, yes, the blue tick allows you to have a portal into Meta, but as you've discovered, it doesn't necessarily stop certain things from happening.
No.
So if you, for example, was solely relied on Instagram for your business, and where are we now? How many days is it since you've not had it? 9. That's quite a significant amount. And it wouldn't have been any different had you. Can I just say as well, I've just checked, you don't have a blue tick on Love Local, don't you?
No, I have a blue tick on Hire the Workroom.
Okay.
Because I can't get into Love Local to verify it.
Okay.
So what is interesting, and this is solely my experience, so I don't want to, I'm not.
Yeah.
I blue ticked Hire the Workroom because it is linked to Love Local. It is in the same thing. So I blue ticked Hire the Workroom, but that allows me to get support on any of my accounts. I don't know if that is actually a thing, but what they are, I am getting that. So whether that's, I don't want to say in case I'm not supposed to, but I asked them to look at Hire the Workroom and Love Local.
Right.
So I raised a ticket from Hire the Workroom for Love Local because they could see it was locked.
Okay.
Which is interesting if you are able to have if you do have a second account. The only downside to that is not everybody can automatically be Meta verified. you do have to go through some checks. So my accounts have been live, so to speak, and I automatically have meta verification if I want it. I don't have to go through any applications. It was just an option for me to verify straight away. But what was frustrating for me is then on Saturday of this week, I posted something on Hire the Workroom, and it posted on Love Local. It cross-posted something. So everyone was like, yay, you've got your account back. And I was like, huh? No. So, you know, I then managed to get a post that cross-posted to let my Love Local followers know that this is the situation. And I think I am, you know, I am by far not reliant now on Instagram. But what happened for me is it was last Wednesday. So let's say 4 or 5 days after this happened, I can't compute in my brain that there's not an answer.
Yes.
Because I can see it. I can see it on Meta. If it had been hacked or something else had been happened and it's gone, then you fight to get that back. Yeah. But the injustice is someone is just not helping. And I know that it can be done. So what happened last Wednesday is I got home from the school run. I sat in my chair by my back door, and I literally messaged my lovely friend Carly Budd at 2:30 because she is another one who joins my business club. She also has ADHD. She is Carly Budd OT. She's incredible. And we have just had this lovely friendship build through various things. And I literally text her and said, I have not had a drink, had a wee, had anything to eat, or let my dog out. And I've just looked at the clock and it's 2:30 from 9:30. And that is what happens to me. I go into this world and it is literally like everything else in my surroundings shuts down. And I am in my phone of bam, bam, right, what about this? Well, if I link to that and if I can do this, what about if I log into here? And it's 5 hours gone because I can't understand how I can't fix it.
Well, you can't accept it either.
I couldn't accept it. And she was like, okay, stop. You need to have a drink. You need to have a wee. And you definitely need to eat something.
To let the dog out.
Yeah. And the dog has probably been sat at the back door for 2 hours. But that was a wake up for me of like, what? I don't know that I've ever had another incident where I've been aware that I've done that.
Right. So you're sort of almost seeing yourself from outside yourself.
I was literally like, bearing in mind I have one day off a week, you know, well, a 9:30 till 2:30 on a Wednesday because someone works in the shop for me. I literally sat there. I was like, that was my day off. And why was it so important to me? Was it for the business or was it for me? And actually, it is for me. It's because of all of the work and hours that I've just poured into this Instagram account. But actually, as a reflection on my business, it's had zero in terms of what my business is selling local products to the public in the shop. Yes, I share events and things, but I have another Instagram for the workroom, so that's fine. All of the events were being shared on there, and loads of people really, really supported it and came over to the workroom account so that they could contact me. But in my head, I go, well, someone's sending me a message on Love Local and I've not replied. Oh my gosh, what are they going to think if I've not replied? They're going to think I'm rude, or I don't reply 90% of the time because I forget. So I've put that pressure on myself to go, well, I can't see if they're commenting. I can't see if they're liking. I can't see if I'm engaging with people that, you know, nobody has messaged me to say like anything other than I'm really sorry this has happened. And, you know, lots of people very kindly copied and pasted their messages from Love Local and sent it to Hire the Workroom.
It was shared.
Which is amazing. And then I just, it flipped from, I think it's me that puts the pressure on relying on that platform. And actually, I don't know what the conversion rate of people that come in the shop are because I post twice a week and every day on stories and do these reels, which is, we all know who are doing that kinds of thing, is really time consuming.
Yes,
really time consuming.
It doesn't matter how quick you navigate it, because it's not just about curating your content. It's about then continually, once you've posted it, engaging with the people that engage with you. So it's constant.
Yeah,
it's constant. And it is, I mean, it's really difficult, isn't it? Because I think there's definitely going to be, I feel like it's an added. I don't think it's necessarily what instantly feeds most people to your shop. But I feel like it's something that allows people to see what's going on subliminally and happening. And it's a reminder.
Yeah.
So,
but what I hadn't foreseen is that I kind of have not ignored, but I definitely don't spend as much effort on my Facebook as what I do on my Instagram.
Yeah.
One, because I love Instagram. I love it. I love the squares. I love the visuals. It's, being creative for me, that is it. I love that. And for Facebook, it's less creative in the imagery of what I'm making and things. It doesn't have to be, but for me, that's what I've done. Yeah. Actually, I took a moment to check the stats of both, because you can do that in MetaSuite of who you're reaching. And I just had quite a shock of the fact that my reach locally on Facebook is probably 4 times the amount on Instagram, because I'm reaching different generations that still, predominantly use Facebook for local shops, local events, what's going on. And it made me think, I've really not been given a moment to go, right, what's the best marketing use for my business? I've just loved these little squares so much that I have poured my heart and soul into it. So I will get it back, and I will, because the injustice of not having it back is, there's no reason why I shouldn't have it back. So I will have it back, and I'm really confident that I will get there. But what it's done is allowed me to kind of take a step back and assess my business. And I've had a chat with loads of the small businesses that work with me this week that have come in, who have all had the same answer of, excuse my French, but shit, we would be screwed if we lost access to this. So you then go, well, you do need to be prepared for that, because the likelihood nowadays, especially this last year, is there's a real high chance that something like that could happen to you, regardless of verification or what have you. You can't solely rely your business marketing on Instagram. And, I know I had this conversation with you earlier in the week, because then the lovely Barbara popped in to see me. Barbara girl, who poked her head through my little shop door and gave me this little smile of like, I've left you for a week just to, I didn't want to bombard you, but let me have a coffee. And, I cannot tell you how grateful I was for her to just come into the shop. And she's so wonderful, because she just wants to support.
Tell everybody what Barbara does before. So
Barbara is she's a marketing expert, I would say. She's absolutely fantastic in everything, email marketing, LinkedIn, anything to do with small business marketing. Barbara is absolutely wonderful for. And I'm very lucky that she is a friend of mine, and she supports Love Local as I support her business. And she popped in, and she did really well to not say it. First of all, she asked for a coffee first, and then sat down, and she was like, right, okay. So I didn't message you, but, she said, what is going to happen with your email marketing? And I have a random sign up thing in my bio on Love Local. I haven't had time to do a newsletter or any email marketing, because I solely focus on Instagram. So she was kindly going through some have you tried this? Have you done that? And I have a full point of sale system in the shop. I mean, it sounds fancy, but it's just an app on an iPad. So she was like, is there any way you can collect data at checkout? So I was like, I don't know. So I did like a £0 transaction, pressed it, and it comes up with, would you like to opt in to receive as the box? She was like, do you use that? I was like, never.
No.
So from Friday and Saturday last week, I've had 26 people sign up. At literally, would you like an email receipt and to sign up to get any information? We had a chat about the fact that I can offer these people exclusive kind of deals for things, for events, or and then just going through, rather than using Instagram, I can send a newsletter, and why not, do a spotlight on each small business each month, so that they then have a platform to people who actually want to read it because they've signed up for it.
Yes.
So I may have 4,500 followers on Love Local, but I don't know those people. The people that are signing up for a newsletter, those are my audience.
So that's what, for the Umbrella Hub, so we have a newsletter which pops up as we've sort of verbally, and whenever we've done events and things like that, we have a link directly to do that, but with a QR code and all sorts of things, which again, I think we spoke about. You could have that in the shop.
Yeah.
So people can go directly to it if they're not, paying or whatever.
Yeah.
And that has brought us more business and more engagement with people than anything else.
Because 100%. They want to hear from you, because they're choosing to.
They are much more interested rather than social media. And also, you've got to look at your demographic of people in the shop.
Yeah.
And as we have done, the people that are engaging with us.
Absolutely.
Not everybody's on Instagram. In actual fact, a lot of people, as I've established, purposefully avoid it.
Yeah.
So it's important, but it's an important, and I think what you said at the beginning about how what you've realized is the real reason that you're engaging with it so much isn't perhaps because it's the best thing for your business and it's so crucial for your business. It's because you've loved it.
I love it. And it's the first thing I have said to both of my lovely admin support that both work with me. It was literally my opening line. You can pretty much do anything, but you're not doing my Instagram. And I kind of justify it and go, because I need it to be authentically me, and I need it to sound like this. And actually, I just really have enjoyed doing it. And that's not to say I can't enjoy doing that, but I am running a business. And at the moment, I had this panic of my business is going to suffer because I can't get these little squares to work on this platform. And actually, that isn't it. There are, Barbara has even held workshops next door to Love Local. So there's this little eye of like, Rhianna, I don't know how many times I can share about an email list. And I'm like, I know, but I've been blinkered by the fact that social media. And I'm not saying that it won't happen, but what it's done is got me excited and opened up things like, that what I can do with newsletters with people who actually want to, because everyone I've asked have gone, oh gosh, yeah, I'd love that. But I was really grateful for her popping in, because although she did want to come in and do a little bit of shopping, I knew that she had purposely left it a few days so that it could calm down in my mind.
And she came specifically
and then she came in and she was so helpful. But so I just wanted to say thank you to her. But she is Barbara Gill Marketing, if you want to give her a follow on Instagram, because she's so supportive of small businesses. And that is, she just did that out of the goodness of her heart, because she appreciates when we're both trying to support small businesses.
Well, this is true. And I, it was funny going back to my little trip to Woodbridge last week and going to Vanilla. I was talking to somebody in there, and a friend of mine, and she said something which I thought was really interesting. We were talking about Instagram, and she was saying how much it's changed, and in her view, not necessarily for the better, and how it's gone from being a platform for introverts to be able to connect and express themselves with photographs and images and creative content to fundamentally extroverts making videos. And
so true.
And I just thought that's so interesting. And it's obviously, huge. And you have to sort of do all these different things with the algorithm to be seen. And it's no longer that really special place that so many people joined and fell in love with at the beginning.
I really agree with that, because I do love it, and that's the battle, isn't it, of relying on it for. I just get so worried for the businesses that are product-based businesses, because this has just been a wake-up call for me, really, as my business head goes on and goes, right, okay, rather than spending hours a day, because that's what I think people don't realize. And actually my dad said to me yesterday, because he's a little bit I wouldn't say obsessed, but he keeps asking me what's happening with Instagram. One, I don't know that he is not on Instagram, so he doesn't understand it fully, and he has the same trait as I, that is the injustice of there must be an answer. And he said to me yesterday, how much time do you actually spend on it? And I said, I honestly think it would equate to a couple of hours a day. He was like, what? And I said, honestly, and that's me. That is me in the morning. I set an alarm sometimes to wake up to be able to post it at the right time, because it's a story and I know I can schedule, but I don't schedule because I don't do that.
Well, that brings me beautifully on to the thing I was going to talk about. So talking to Hen from the Styled Writing Company, and she's recommended to me an app called Plan, Plann. And basically, there are lots out there, I'm sure, but this is the one she was using. You're then able to create your content and schedule your posts, and it sort of lays it out so you can see what your grid is going to look like.
I love that.
Yeah, she said it's been absolutely brilliant for her. But most importantly, the thing that I struggle with that you do so successfully with Instagram is making it consistent. I will put posts out there, but they're not very consistent. I'm much better with stories because it's a little bit more casual, but posts I find to do regularly much more difficult. Whereas if I had something where I could pop it all in, and also actually, if I'm being truthful, part of the reason I find it so difficult is because it's so glitchy, and I get so disheartened and cross verbally. I think I shared this with you the other day. I did this lovely post for our podcast because we try and obviously share what we're doing each week, and the whole thing disappeared. You can't get back into it. It was a carousel with lots of pictures, and on that page it hasn't gone. I'm able to write on each page. It's apparently what the algorithm likes at the moment, and it's gone. It's there, but I can't get into it. I find it so frustrating because it takes so much out of me and so much time, and I just think, oh, sod it.
I know.
What am I doing?
Yeah.
Why am I spending my time doing this? So then I come out of it. And whereas stories seems to be a lot less glitchy.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, this particular piece of software, I've downloaded it. I've logged into it. I'm halfway through setting it up, and I've linked it to different accounts.
Quite easy to use so far?
So far, yes. Good. Definitely. I will report back more.
That's
next week
really
once
interesting.
I've had a bit more
because
of a play.
I think ideally, everybody wants to be the person that schedules their post on a Sunday for the full week and then forgets about it. But it's interesting because I don't ever struggle to post every day, but I struggle to eat, take my medication, find my keys. It's because it's
the dopamine.
It is, and I know I shared that video with you yesterday, which you said that you'd been sent a few times before of the guy doing the speech. I had not, and we will share that because I've not seen that before, and it's the first time that I watched it about 15 times, just over and over again.
Listening to what he said.
That you can bang on and bang on and bang on to people about like that you're trying to explain, yes, but I'll go in the kitchen and I'll do this job, but actually I'll end up doing, they go, oh yeah.
It's being sidetracked.
It is. But he gave that. It was the bit at the end where he could really focus on this one thing that he wanted. And that is me to a T, because that creativity that he was doing then captivates that brain and that part where you go, oh, I'm going to give this everything, but don't worry about the shoes that I've not cleaned or the thing that I've not done, and that, because it is that dopamine rush, because what he loved to do, he ended up doing, but didn't do anything else. Just thought it was the most incredible description
of it,
of what can happen. And I think that's what upset me the most about the Instagram situation, because I do get my dopamine rush from doing that. And that's not, I know I have other accounts and I know I do that, but Love Local is, you know, it is in my heart. And the reason I have these other accounts is because of that business. So it's shifting my, it's just shifting my way of thinking into going, it doesn't matter as much as what you think it does, because there are other ways you can be creative. Like, I would love to do a newsletter. It's literally like, that is me to a T, and it changing every month. And I'm, you know, super fortunate to have lovely support now that I can just make that newsletter, give them the email, you know, they can manage all of the email list, and then they'll send it out for me. So I haven't even got to worry about not getting it out to everybody. And I just need to make it.
You can make that newsletter. So I'll tell you who's done this really successfully, is Erica. She has a fantastic newsletter, and I feel like she does them twice a month now as well. Yes, I think she does. She does like a smaller interim one halfway through the month, and that creativity of pouring everything into that. I mean, she's obviously still posting every day.
Yeah, but it is like a glimpse.
It's very different.
It's like a glimpse of social media, but in a format that I want to read, because it's on my terms to open it. You know, obviously I subscribe to that because I'm really interested in what she posts as well, and fashion. And I love, and I know that I could do that, and I would love to do that. So I just need to shift my focus onto what is going to be important. But I think what the whole point of this conversation is it can just be taken in a split second. And I kid you not, I know everyone was waiting for this dramatic reason as to why my phone broke. I didn't drop it down the toilet or leave it on the top of my car or put it in the oven. It literally just broke. Poof. Done. Could not turn on.
It did an instant factory reset, didn't it? In front of your eyes.
It just was coding coming up and then just done. So it could happen to anybody.
Yeah.
You know, it's not that, and that just worries me. And I think that if anything, if, you know, people resonate with any of that, it is find other ways to market your business as well as what you're doing on the social media accounts.
So at the same time as this was happening, I had a really weird situation, which I'm trying not to focus on too much, but I did take screenshots. And again, it's the whole injustice of it for me. I just get really, that suddenly I could, on my list of accounts, I've got 3 that I manage. So the Making Bee, Creative Rehab, and the Umbrella Hub. My daughter's account appeared on my list, and not only did it appear on my list, I could click onto it and I could get into her account. I mean, so we don't share anything. So her account is not linked to me in any shape or form, and never has been. The only thing we do share is an iCloud account. Now, my husband's in IT security, or IT security. Is that right? IT security. Gosh, he'll shoot me for that. Anyway, he's in IT.
Yeah, let's just leave it at that.
Cybersecurity. That's the word I was looking for. He's in cybersecurity. And I just sort of went, Pete! And anyway, he's very good in that sort of situation. He very calmly said, right, you need to go into everything and change all your passwords. And I did that. At the same time, Evie instantly could see that somebody had got into her account and changed her password. But it was quite terrifying that, you know, so I haven't reported it. I haven't done anything. But
so could she see that you could get in it?
Yes. She said somebody has accessed your account. It came up. Yeah. And she instantly went into her Instagram and changed all her passwords. But I didn't try to get into it. it just came up as an option. It's just...
You literally had the opposite to me.
Yes, exactly.
Just give me access. And I'm like, I can't have access. Weird. And that's then, so worrying, though.
It is. And so similarly, all these really odd things were happening on my account. And I've, as I said, reset all my passwords and for everything.
Yeah. I've been tagged in a few posts this week where other businesses have had their accounts just disabled. And two of them, one of them was really difficult because they do a similar, they're similar umbrella to Love Local in the fact that they're supporting kind of arts and I can't remember where it is, but not local here. But they had something like 14,000 followers, so they were supporting their local makers and artists, and they had their account disabled because they had broken a community guideline, but they couldn't be told what that was. And so I'm being tagged in all of these things, and it just makes me go, okay, well, one, I don't want it to happen to anyone else, but I have absolutely zero control over that. But what I do have control over is not relying on a single platform for my business.
That's the most important message that we wanted to convey from this conversation, isn't it? It's really difficult, especially when you use and love something so much, and it becomes quite integral to what you're doing. But just make sure you have many other options and spread your risk. Equally across other platforms or other. So I meant to ask you this. Do you have a website for Love Local?
Not for Love Local, no.
Right.
Not at the moment.
No, but again, that's a really good alternative.
Yeah.
And or added to your toolbox. And I know lots of people don't because they have social media, and there's so many different things. You can have link trees and bio sites now, which sort of kind of fill that gap. But
actually, because I was chatting to Barbara about that, because the end goal, what I would absolutely love, is to have a website where it has some e-commerce on there, so that people who can't access the shop can buy stuff in there. But I also and I know it will cost a lot of money, which is why I can't do it at the moment. But I already have a pre-list of people who I really want to build a small business directory, because I get asked so much, could you recommend this person? Could you recommend? So I want to build this into a site where I don't even know if it's possible. And I'm sure it's going to cost me a lot of money. But my idea is to have like a mini Google in my website. So at the top of the search bar, you could put like gifts for bridesmaids. And then what comes up is a list of businesses that can do that. Or, I'm looking for a decorator. So then the decorators come up for product, but I want help with my marketing. So it'd be more of a question box.
Okay.
And then that comes up rather than an A to Z list where you've got to look through and I want it to be interactive. Okay. Maybe one day that might happen. Maybe it's not possible. Wow. And then that be kind of to the side of, you could buy, as an e-commerce, you can buy online. And I think that's my end goal, but it has to be right, and I don't have that at the moment. But I mean, a landing page for Love Local with just information of how to contact would be sufficient for now,
and a link to your newsletter.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's just another thing though, isn't it?
I know.
I don't know how many websites I've got. I think I've got 5.
You've got 5 existing websites. Okay.
So I've got Hire the Workroom, Cotton Rainbow, which is my other business. I also own www.rhiannaessex.co.uk, which is incredible. What a website. And that is probably offline because I might not have paid to upgrade that. Yeah, it is. That was my previous business that I started. And then I've got 2 more that are like dormant. But yeah, I do need to do it. The Workroom one works really well. It's got a live calendar on it of events.
Brilliant.
Live links to go over to. So that's managed, and someone manages that. Kim manages that for me. So that's great. So yeah, it's just about refocusing my business plan on not relying on a single platform. I can still use it when I get it back, and I will still use it. I'm not going to not, but I maybe will just not spend quite as much time
and
on
energy
that platform.
and effort into
I will
it and
move it on to things that are actually going to help my customers. And free up some of my time.
So in a weird sort of way, if it comes back and everything's established as it was, it's not necessarily been any bad thing.
No, I think it's really it's those dramatic situations that I have to get myself into where, you know, I was like, what am I going to do? This is honestly, this is the worst thing that could have happened. How can I not have access to that? And then Tuesday came and the shop opened and people came. Lots of people came. It was literally my busiest Tuesday since last December. And I was like, oh, so I'm going, oh God, have you, you know, because I'm telling everyone. And they were like, oh no, we've not seen it. Oh,
no.
Okay.
So
and then Wednesday, you know, was busy. Thursday was, and then Friday, Saturday were my busiest days since probably Easter.
April,
and I'm saying it again, like, oh God, have you seen what's, no. And then you go, actually, you're not engaging with that side of my social media, are you? You want to know, and everybody that I said, you know, I said, I've got this event that's coming up at Christmas, which is really exciting, which I've not announced yet. But the idea is that if you sign up to the newsletter, you can have a pre-order of that because it's a ticketed event. At, you know, there'll be a discounted price for newsletter readers. And everybody was like, oh my gosh, yeah, we want that. Yeah. Because you want it to come straight to your mailbox, open it when you want to read it and have all that information on there. So that's what I'm gonna do. After Barbara's been in my ear for 2 years, I'm finally taking her advice
and listening to
so
her.
If you want to sign up for the Love Local newsletter, I'm not sure how you can do that yet, but I'm sure I'll put a link somewhere. But yeah, I just wanted to say thank you to her, really, because that it's those moments where you go, you know, I'm super proud of what I've built and what I've made because of the friendships and connections that I have, that I would have done that.
Yeah.
And I know I would have, you know, just if I had some information that could help, I would have just gone, I need to do that. So, yes.
Women supporting women in business.
Baby.
Good, isn't it?
Yeah. So, yeah.
Very quickly, well, where are we? Yeah, very quickly, because we are sort of close to an hour. I just want to finish off by talking about something completely different.
Okay.
Nobody wants this.
Yeah, but okay, are we doing a spoilers alert? Are we discussing it or not?
Probably.
We can't because producer Marie's
she's halfway through.
Producer Marie, we're not going to talk about the end. We're just going to talk about an overview. Oh, yeah. I loved it, Becky. Shh. Oh, so just say it again because I think I interrupted you. What's it called?
It's called, and it's so funny because there's been loads of posts about this. It's called Nobody Wants This, and it's really weird. I couldn't remember the name of it. It wouldn't stick.
It doesn't stick with me.
No, isn't it funny? It's everybody's. But once you get the first bit, nobody, not nothing. I kept thinking it's nothing, something to do with, but it's nobody.
Nobody wants this.
And it's your favourite pin-up.
Oh, my gosh.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Is it Adam Brody?
Yeah, I just,
his name?
From the OC.
And,
I mean, he's probably done a lot more work since the OC of circa 2002. But it was, you'd been saying to me, you have to watch it, you have to watch it, you have to watch it.
Let's explain what it is, because we're talking like we know what we're talking about. So Nobody Wants This is a new Netflix series, and it's 10 episodes. It's a rom-com essentially, but it's about two sisters who have a podcast, and their podcast is about sex and it's about relationships, and it's very, very funny, very open and very honest. And it's utterly brilliant. It's the best thing I've seen since Ted Lasso, I reckon, or Schitt's Creek. But it's really, really good.
Really good.
I highly recommend it. And I have been banging on about it to Rhianna and to Marie. You must watch it. You must watch it.
I did it in 2 evenings.
Yeah.
But you can't, I finished it last night without my husband, and he'd got to episode 8 and then he fell asleep, and I was like, oh, I'm not stopping.
I can't stop now.
It was absolutely brilliant. So it's got Kristen Bell, Justin Loop and Adam Brody in it, which are just...
They're great,
honestly.
I think that's the thing, that it's not just the two of them, the whole cast.
Yeah.
Every single actor in it is just awesome, and they could hold it on their own.
Definitely.
And the brother, the brother's wife is brilliant. All of it. It's just
all
superb.
of them. It was cast brilliantly. A really, really easy watch. It's funny. It's romantic. It's just one of those that you can immerse yourselves. I mean, I am a huge Schitt's Creek fan, and so as soon as you said that, I cannot tell you how many times I have front to back watched all of those episodes. And I can definitely see it's got that, you can immerse yourself in it, and then when it ends you're like, oh I'm back out now. It's definitely worth a watch if you haven't watched it.
Yes.
And then once Marie's caught up, we'll have a proper chat about it.
Oh my god, it's so good.
It's so good.
I love the language that they use and the way they talk to each other with really...
his mannerisms and the way he just...
I know. He doesn't react to things, and it's that... There's a really lovely term that we use and talk about a lot in the Umbrella Hub called compassionate communication. And there is no underestimating the power of that and what it can do. And if you it is a practice... It's something that if you practice and you talk to other people that way, you then talk to yourself that way. And it is so impactful. There are no words I have.
He is fit as hell.
Oh my God.
So beautiful. I was literally like, oh, he hasn't. I love that my
love heart coming out of your eyes.
2002 love has grown, because there's nothing worse, is there? I mean, he has aged beautifully. But yeah, Kristen Bell is incredible in it as well. I love her, but this is a real different, you get a different view of her acting skills. I loved it. Loved it.
Also their portrayal of the religion side of it as well. And, I really felt educated.
Yeah, I did too.
And in a really positive way.
Absolutely.
And not in a ram it down my throat sort of way. And I loved that.
Yeah.
I loved that. I felt like I'd learned something.
Yeah. Because there's that comedic kind of side to it. If you're going to call someone a hot rabbi, there's going to be, but that's how I learn, and that's how I like to educate myself, is to not be preached to, but to be, told it in a way that I can absorb it. And I loved it. Loved it. So definitely go and watch it. What's it called? Nobody Wants This.
There you go.
I went it. Nobody Wants This on Netflix, 10 episodes. And let us know what you think. You can send us a message. Tell us how much you loved it as well. And then, tell us what you thought of the ending once Marie's watched it.
Anyway, I think we should leave it there
because
we've rubbed it on long enough.
This is coming out on Friday. I don't know what day that is. I think it's the 11th of October or something.
It is the 11th
and then
of
next
October.
week we have got a special guest, haven't we?
We have.
So we're recording that this week. So we will. That will be out next Friday.
Yes.
Thanks, love.
And don't forget to follow. We have to follow. Share.
Follow.
Do all the things.
Subscribe. Download.
All
and
of it.
Just please, that'd be great.
YouTube, Spotify,
we're on
Apple,
TikTok. Come over to TikTok.
Yeah, we're going to start post this conversation on what's happened in the last week.
Yeah,
we are exploring other options for this as well.
Creative Rehab Pod on TikTok, and you can come over and see some of the behind the scenes stuff as well, because there's plenty of that.
There certainly is.
Thank you. Lovely to see you.
Thanks.
Bye.